Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the August 5th, 2026 meeting of the Daytona Beach City Commission. We're happy and delighted to have each of you with us this evening. Madam Clerk, may we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Paris? Here. Commissioner Strickland? Here. Commissioner May? Here. Commissioner Cantu? Here. Commissioner Henry? Commissioner Reed? Mayor Derek L. Henry?
Present.
Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, we're asking that you excuse Commissioner Reed and Commissioner Henry from tonight's meeting. If there is a motion.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those in opposition, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 4, which is approval of the minutes of the July 1st, 2026 City Commission meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. We'll now move on to item number 5A, agenda approval. If there are any changes, our city manager will address them.
Yes, Honorable Mayor, Commissioners, we're changed to item 8C, Police Department authorization of purchase Faro Zone 3D software, revised quote and purchase price as of August 1st from Dell Technologies for an increase from $6,925 to $8,585. Add to item 8M, zone support funds to the consent agenda, $1,600 from Mayor Derek L. Henry to Campbell Middle School, $2,500 to the Police Department for Travelers Aid from Commissioner May, $2,500 to Halifax Urban Ministries for Travelers Aid from Commissioner May. Add addendum 8N to the consent agenda, which is the Parks and Recreation Department lease agreement, the City of Daytona Beach, and the Halifax Rowing Association. And after discussions with some commissioners and also with citizens sending in information, we're asking that you all continue 8G, which is the splash pad and Derbyshire discussion to a workshop at the next meeting, and also the continuance of 9A, which is the e-bike amendment to Municipal Ordinance Chapter 94, Traffic and Motor Vehicles on second reading. And Mr. Gross, will we have to do a separate motion for the second reading of 9A, or could that be done if there is a approval from the commissioners to move that to a workshop at the next meeting?
You don't have to do second reading in tonight's meeting.
Okay. And so that is the recommendation 8G, because there were comments to have a workshop on the 8G for the splash pad, and 9A on e-bikes. We're asking for that to be continued until the next meeting at a workshop prior to our regular commission meeting.
Just
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions or comments? No. Okay. With that being said, all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to our presentations. Item number 6. Item 6A is a proclamation in honor of Warren Traeger.
In memory of Warren Traeger, who I had the pleasure of knowing for almost 50 years, since I was a little boy. And for those of you who do not know, this is Warren's wife, or was his wife, Ruth Traeger, who was also a city commissioner. And if Warren was nothing else, he was also he served right alongside with me. And he was as close and as tight in her work as I've ever seen two people. And this wasn't just, thing about it wasn't just commission work. It was every aspect of their lives. You know, if you went to their shop, you found one, you found the other. just didn't spend time apart, and their work was a lifetime of work and service together. So, in memory of Warren Traeger, whereas the City of Daytona Beach pauses to recognize and celebrate individuals who have dedicated their lives, ingenuity, and passion to the betterment and historic preservation of our community. And whereas Warren Traeger was a proud, lifelong native of Daytona Beach, born on December 16th, 1935, graduating from Seabreeze High School, attending the Mary Carl Vocational School for Electronics, and honorably serving his country in the Naval Reserves. And whereas Warren was a natural and visionary entrepreneur who built multiple successful local businesses over several decades, operating a TV repair shop, an antique store, liquor store, pawn shops, Christmas repair store, earning him the affectionate community title of Mr. Christmas. And whereas alongside his beloved wife, former city commissioner Ruth Traeger, Warren invested deeply in the revitalization of historic local corridors, holding an unwavering commitment to the growth, culture, and economic development of Midtown and Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard. And whereas Warren served as a veritable living encyclopedia of Daytona Beach history, sharing his deep knowledge on programs like PBS, Florida Road Trip, and American Pickers, and dedicating his time to leadership roles, including President of the Halifax Historical Society, Secretary of the Historic Preservation Board, and member of the Senior Advisory Board. And whereas following his passing on April 20th, 2026, at the honorable age of 90, his enduring legacy of community activism, faith at Temple Israel, and devotion to his family continues to serve as an inspiration to all citizens. Now, therefore, I, Derek L. Henry, Mayor of the City of Daytona Beach, and on behalf of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim to the family of Warren Traeger our sincerest condolences and hope that the memories of his exceptional life will provide comfort. In witness whereof I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Daytona Beach to be affixed this 22nd day of July, 2026.
I'd like to thank everyone. He cared deeply for Daytona Beach and all its people, and he would be so proud of this. Thank you so much.
We'll now move on to item 6B, which is Nancy Miller, Mayor of Daytona Beach Shores, Stormwater Mitigation and Flooding Subcommittee.
Thank you so much, Mayor, Commissioners, staff, and residents. I am Nancy Miller, the Mayor of Daytona Beach Shores, but I'm here today in my capacity of the co-chair of our Flood Coalition, that entices or includes 16 municipalities in Volusia County, and I am honored to be on that committee with Jake Johansson as our co-chair. I'd like to give a special thank you to Commissioner Stacy Cantu that has joined every one of our meetings and has represented your city so well. So I thank you for allowing me here for a couple of minutes. I want to take this opportunity to highlight some of the projects that Daytona Beach Shores Daytona has been working on. So first of all, I don't know how much you know about the subcommittee or the flooding, but There have been several grants issued from HUD, and they've come down through Transform 386. So I'm happy to report there has been over $400 million that has been come down to the Volusia County. And of that, Daytona received $7 million, and that is going to go towards a $9.5 million project. And I want to let your residents know the work that you're doing. I'm hearing a lot that people saying, what's happening with the flooding, what's happening? We have a long way to go, and this by no means is going to solve all the problems. But what we're trying to do is baby steps, identifying what the issues are and what we can do. So with that money that you have received in Daytona, I understand you're going to be replacing lift stations 15, 17, 18, and 22. And that's going to be replaced with more modern, flood-resistant infrastructure. It's designed to remain operational during very severe weather, helping protect homes, businesses, public health, and the environment while improving the reliability of the city's wastewater system. I understand you're also developing a citywide watershed management plan to better understand your drainage conditions, elevate flood risk, and identify long-term strategies for improving your stormwater management in Daytona Beach. So what I encourage you to do is look on the website, on the dashboard of volusia.org, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but it's going to show which projects will be available in what area. And the work combines advanced engineering, flooding model, and field data to help prioritize future infrastructure improvements and build a more resilient community for many years to come. So I want to talk a little about the projects across the country. It has careful planning and engineering work. It's going to identify long-term solutions to flooding challenges throughout the community. So your project is just a sample of 28 infrastructure projects and 28 basin studies that are currently away across the county. I want to take the opportunity to highlight this new resource that we've just launched, and this is what I want to talk about. So many people, again, were saying, what's happening in my area? So we have launched a new dashboard, a GIS active dashboard. What you can do is put in your address, and if you hover over your address, you're going to be able to see what maintenance projects are either completed, will be completed, any future projects that either your city or your county is going to be taking care of. This new dashboard gives the residents a single place to explore the work taking place across our region to reduce flooding risks, improve drainage, and strengthen our stormwater infrastructure. So I encourage you to go to volusia.gov to see this in action. From the very beginning, our subcommittee, we have been meeting for 18 months. And again, Stacy, thank you so much for being a part of it and representing Daytona Beach. We're working together. We're sharing ideas and information. We're sharing lessons learned. And this started out as 16 different municipalities doing 16 different things. We've come together in order to work together. And one of our participants said, do no harm. Because one of the things we discovered that a city, not Daytona, was getting rid of their stormwater, but putting it over to another city. So with us all working together, we're hoping that doesn't happen anymore. But to give you a better look at what we're doing, Jennifer, is that video ready? Or whoever's going to do it. I'd like you to see this video with some of the things that we're doing on our subcommittee. Thank you.
When it comes to flooding in Volusia County, the problem goes beyond a single jurisdiction, and the challenge isn't just water, it's coordination.
Stormwater systems cross city boundaries, funding programs overlap, and decisions made in one place often affect communities downstream.
That's why Volusia County and all 16 of our cities participate in the elected officials roundtable flooding subcommittee.
This group exists to ensure elected officials and key staff are talking to each other, sharing information and making informed decisions with regional perspective, not in isolation.
It's all about aligning priorities, understanding constraints, and recognizing how individual actions fit into a larger system.
The subcommittee focuses on shared standards, coordinated planning, and consistent approaches to stormwater management.
Members review flooding hotspots, discuss regulatory frameworks, coordinate stormwater studies, and identify opportunities to pursue grants together.
That collaboration helps avoid duplication, improves competition for funding, and ensures resources are used where they can have the greatest impact.
That collaboration and coordinated approach is already producing results.
Through the federally funded Transform 386 initiative, local governments across Volusia County have secured funding for more than 25 stormwater infrastructure and mitigation projects, as well as 30 stormwater studies, totaling over $110 million.
These investments reflect shared planning, data-driven decision-making, and regional cooperation.
While long-term planning is essential, day-to-day operations still matter, and the flooding subcommittee also focuses on maintenance.
We work with our cities and Volusia County to continually maintain stormwater infrastructure, clearing drains, managing ponds, and improving the flow, all to reduce flooding impacts whenever possible. This work is transparent, happens in the open, and is making a difference.
Subcommittee meetings are open to the public, and updates are shared through news releases, social media, a dedicated web page, and the flood and stormwater mitigation newsletter.
On behalf of Mayor Miller, I would like to thank the leadership and elected officials from each city for supporting and participating in the subcommittee. No single local government can solve flooding alone.
But when we work together, share responsibility, and stay engaged, we're all better positioned to manage risk, build long-term resilience, and serve the collective community.
Thank you very much. And I did receive feedback that at our next meeting, and Stacy, you can put this on the agenda, that there was a request for FDOT to come out. And maybe I understand what happened with the Army Corps of Engineers and the Nova Canal. Maybe we can see if FDOT can be of any help. Okay, so I'm going to take off the two hats that I had, and now I'm going to put my hat on. I'm the current president of Volusia League of Cities.
Nancy, first of all, before, I just want to say thank you. You've done a wonderful job. You and Jake both on there.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of Volusia County Chair at Large, Jake Johansson, he couldn't be here this evening, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. So City Manager Fiacher, can you come and join me here? So there is something that's called the Home Rule Heroes Award. And this is a very coveted award that is only given out to really just a little bit more than a handful of individuals in all of Volusia County. So it is with great pride on behalf of Florida League of Cities, City Manager Fiacher, I want to present you with this award for a hometown hero for all the work that you do for advocacy for your city and for Volusia County. And here is your little pen. Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
If you stay there, they're going to
Congratulations.
have another picture.
Oh, you have your own. We don't have that. Thank you. Congratulations. Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 7, which is our citizen comments. During this time, citizens have the opportunity to address the City Commission on any item on the consent agenda. Our first speaker is John Nicholson, and on deck is Teresa Werner.
You didn't think that.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. I had about 17 items on the consent agenda, but I had some of them answered, but here's a couple. 8F, the pier. They're talking about cleaning up the area around the pier. That arch we cleared up, but that area literally looks like a, what's a nice way to say this? A neglected downtown in Detroit or Chicago, where people leave trash everywhere, where it's not painted, it's not kept up. Those railings, I guess for 10 years, were never cleaned. I mean, we had put these teal railings, and everybody walked up to the pier, grabbed a hold of them. And all you had to do was wash them. And we never did. The graffiti that pops up on a regular basis, it takes a while to clean it up. Hopefully with this, because we have so many tourists there, we really do, and we have to realize that we can lose our tourism. We have lost a lot of our tourism. People forget how busy we were before Disney arrived and how they took our families over to Orlando. That was a big hit for us. Our Bike Week, Biketoberfest, all events, we have 9 major events of 100,000 people or more. No other city has that. We could lose them. We've lost from the beach side the 8 events. We did have spring break. We did have BCR. We did have Turkey Rod Run. People would literally sit their chairs on A1A and watch the antique cars go by. Now we don't have any antique cars. They're all over at One Daytona. So we can lose. To keep Daytona Beach attractive, we have to compete. We have to be an attractive city. So this painting project goes a long way. Playground at Breakers, I saw it on the backup material. Can't figure out day one what that looks like. It's got to be important. It's got to be usable. It can't be just pretty. People have to use it. And the pier, we need to add those missing, 500 feet that we lost in Hurricane Hugo? We need to add that to the pier. We need to add that back. We're leasing that property. So we need to add that back. We do it cement. That will also protect our pier. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Teresa Warner, and on deck is William Biddle.
Teresa Warner, 212 Woodland Avenue. I had a thing here to read, but then I seen here 8G, what he just spoke about. You're going to take out the splash pool and put in a playground at Breakers. The residents don't want that. We've all been talking about that. We don't want that. The kids want to go and splash in the splash pool. It's the beach. Mainland has 2 swimming pools, a splash pool, and now you're talking about another splash pool in Derbyshire? And we can't have one splash pool? Something's wrong there. Why don't you do what the residents want? Okay. Here's my list. Why are we even having discussion? This is all basic maintenance. Why was it left so long to deteriorate like it was? Where'd all the money go? Where'd the money go from the rent from Krabby Joe's, from the shops, from the taxes from the boardwalk and the shops, the $1 million homes along the beach? The money sure wasn't spent on beachside. Like this man just said, it looks like Detroit. Why'd you allow it? This is not something that happened in months. This happened over years, and you allowed it. You built a $200,000 archway, took 2 years, and then when it was done, someone didn't look and see. You had trucks in and out of there for 2 years. Someone didn't see what the curbs looked like. Someone didn't say, hey, let's get $100 worth of paint and paint the curbs. Let's clean this up. You go and you mow the Breakers Park, but then you mow the bank. But then when you get to the sidewalk that goes under the go down to the beach, those 2 bit of gardens that line the road, nobody takes care of them. You got sand up the palm trees 3 feet high. Why can't they take care of those? You went up on Plaza, and the whole length of the island, the width of the island, You replaced every tree that went down there because of frost, and you did that in 3 months' time. Why does that get fixed right away and repaired? And I didn't see you had to vote on that money. But why? That looks stupid. You can't take care of those 2 little pieces of garden there? That's crazy. I don't understand why some things you do, but the other ones you don't. I just don't understand. I think different city members have their own personal ideas and personal agendas, and that's how they vote on, not what the residents want. The restrooms at the splash park, it needs paint. Why don't you paint it like this building across the street here? It's a chiropractor. It's not elaborate. It's just 2 kind of paints. It has, when you leave here tonight, look, it's got like leaves and stuff all over it. And rather just a plain blue, you spend all this money giving it to the schools. You could get these schools to...
Thank you, ma'am. Your time has expired.
You could get these schools to paint something down there, to have a contest.
Okay, our next speaker is William Biddorf.
Hello, my name is William Biddorf. I live at 402 East International Speedway Boulevard in Daytona Beach. Very proud resident. Are we speaking on the items, or are we just the consent agenda? Okay. Well, I was mainly coming up because I like this idea for representation. I've done multiple court cases and as a private investigator, and I was looking. This software is priceless for our police department. And, well, I know that you all are going to do this for them because it's going to help protect us, our residents. And I know you guys care, and I know you guys support us, and because you even support me, and I'm a pain in the neck, and I know I'm a pain in the neck to all of you. So please, please consider this for the police department and anything we can do, because it's really going to help the judicial system. It makes it easier for these cases to stick. And I think it's a very important thing. And thank you. And thank you, Mr. Mayor.
That was our final speaker on the consent agenda.
Let's go ahead.
Mayor, I have a question on 8N because this was provided today. Since this building, the agreement says that maintenance and repair of the premises has to be done by the person that we're renting to, do we have a report of the condition of the building? Because
I don't think there is a report that's been provided. They've been renting the building for, I don't recall how many years for that. And so they've been maintaining the building.
do we have like an inspection that staff does?
Yes.
So can I get a copy? Well,
Yeah.
can we all get a copy of that inspection of the building? And also the Halifax, the sailing center.
Okay. Yeah. I did want to note for the record, I forwarded you all from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. I want to recognize the staff members who are here. There, item 8J comes out of the Redevelopment Neighborhood Services. The monitoring report that came from the United States Housing and Urban Development denoted that our staff were exceptional and that they had no findings or concerns were noted in their monitoring reports for our CDBG and home programs. So I want to commend LaShondra and her staff that through their monitoring for our home and CDBG programs, there were no findings or concerns, and the inspector that was here for a week thought you all did an exceptional job, and I provided that letter to all elected officials. So thank you all for the work that you've done for both of those programs that were monitored by the United States government.
Great job. Thank you. All right, we have a motion. Do we have a motion?
We
for
do
the
not.
consent agenda?
Can we get a motion?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion. We take it from Commissioner Parrish and second from Commissioner Cantu. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay. Item number 9 was continued this evening, so we're going to move on to item number 10, which is our introduction of ordinances. These are for commission questions and comments only. Item 10A is the Growth Management Planning Department Mueller Door Plan Development General. This is an introduction of an ordinance on first reading. An ordinance amending the zoning map of the Land Development Code to rezone 3.08 plus or minus acres of property located at 1075 Mason Avenue from Business Retail 2 to PDG, approving the 1075 Mason Avenue Mueller Door Plan District Agreement to allow for warehouse and wholesale uses within the existing professional office development, authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute the agreement, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. Are there any questions or comments from the commission on this item? The public hearing and final action will be set for August 19th. Item 10B is the Growth Management Planning Mueller Door Small Scale Comprehensive Plan Amendment. This is an introduction of an ordinance on first reading. An ordinance adopting a small scale comprehensive plan amendment in accordance with section 163.3187 of Florida statutes with regard to 3.08 plus or minus acres of land located at 1075 Mason Avenue, amending the future land use map designation from office transition and retail to entirely retail, amending the future land use element neighborhood L development policy to limit allowable uses within the subject property, repealing all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date. And are there any questions or comments from the commission on this item? The public hearing and final action is set for August 19th. So we're going to move on to item 11, which is our administrative items. Item 11A is a Public Works Department acceptance of work authorization number 4, Campbell Middle School and Turry T. Small Elementary School. This is a resolution. A resolution terminating work authorization number 3 under contract 21065 with DRMP Inc., approved by Resolution 2025-430, approving work authorization number 4 under contract 21065 with DRMP Inc. to perform construction engineering inspection services from the Campbell Middle School and Turry T. Small Elementary School Safe Routes to School project at a cost not to exceed $142,360.22 and to provide an effective date. So moved.
Second.
All right, do we have any questions or comments regarding this?
And I have no speakers, Mr. Mayor.
No speakers, okay. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to 11B, which is the Public Works Department awarding construction contract 2636 ITB for Campbell Middle School and Turry T. Small Elementary School Safe Routes to School. This is a resolution accepting the bid of Drury Site Development Inc. for Campbell Middle School and Turry T. Small Elementary School Safe Routes to School project for a contract price of $598,897.99, authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute the contract with Danis Utilities Inc., rejecting bids that were non-responsive, authorizing the return of bid security for all unsuccessful bidders, and providing an effective date. So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
And I have no speakers, Mr. Mayor.
All right, all those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
Moving on to item 11C, it's a Public Works Department Planning Solutions Corp. Payment of Grant Administration Service, Payment of Work Authorization Request. This is a resolution approving work authorization number 139 under the Third Amendment to the amended and restated professional services contract with Planning Solutions Corp. For grant administration services related to the Beach Street Complete Street retrofit from Bay Street to Michigan Avenue at a cost of $130,000 and providing an effective date. So moved.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I do have a speaker, Mr. Mayor, Mr. John Nicholson. No? Okay. Then I have no other speakers, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those in opposition, same sign. This motion carries 5-0.
Moving on to item 11D, it's Utilities Department, Danis Utilities, Inc., Lift Station Rehabilitation. This is a resolution. A resolution approving a piggyback services agreement with Danis Utilities, Inc. for as-needed sanitary sewer, manhole, vault, and lift station rehabilitation services pursuant to a City of Claremont agreement for a term ending September 30th, 2028, with options to renew for 3 additional terms of 1 year each, authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to execute the agreement, authorizing the city manager to expend the amount not to exceed $600,000 for fiscal year 2026, authorizing the city manager to exercise the city's renewal options under the contract's terms and conditions, subject to budgeting and appropriations, and providing an effective date.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I have no speakers.
Okay. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those who are opposed, same sign. Motion carries, 5-0.
And that was our final agenda item on the agenda.
All right, we will commence our commission commentary with Commissioner Ken Strickland, Zone 2. Oh, it is Paris? My regrets, my apologies. Commissioner Paris.
Thank you,
Zone
Mayor.
1.
So I'd like to take a moment to reflect on what an incredible sesquicentennial weekend we had for the City of Daytona Beach. We celebrated our 150th anniversary, a milestone that was never about one event or one person, but our community coming together to celebrate our history and look toward our future. If you were not able to attend, we have a little slideshow and a video to show you.
All right, Daytona Beach, 150 years. Happy birthday. My name is Frank Kelleher, and I am the president of Daytona International Speedway. So on behalf of the entire staff here and the France family, it's an honor to celebrate your birthday right here at the World Center of Racing.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach, from Brown and Brown.
Yo, what's up? It's the Paradox out here in Rockville, Daytona Beach, celebrating 150 years. Absolutely insane. We love Florida.
From all of us at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
And Daytona Beach, happy 150th. May we have another 150 good years coming.
Daytona Beach from Big Short.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach. Woohoo! 150 years. Amazing. Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Greetings. I am the Rat Queen of Castle Rat. This is the castle. We're celebrating 150 years at Daytona Beach, Rockville.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach. And Lease
Happy birthday, Daytona. Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
These are the mayor's honors.
Happy 150 to the City of Daytona Beach. We can't wait to play there. We can't wait to see our fans. And we're excited to be in the City of Daytona.
birthday, Daytona Beach.
Hi, Daytona Beach. My name is Johnny Moore. I'm a resident born and raised here in Daytona Beach. Now, mind you, I may look a little older than you may think, but I'm not as old as the great city of Daytona Beach, which is 150 years old. So let's celebrate the birthday of Daytona Beach, 150 years.
Happy 150. Hold on. I'm going to do like an intro first, like who I am, who you are, and we are wishing Daytona 150 years birthday, right? That'd be great. Okay, see, come on now. Okay. All right, we're keeping that, by the way. All right. So we can say from Daytona Speed Run Club. Yeah, from Daytona Speed Run Club, we want to wish Daytona 150th happy birthday. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. From Daytona Speed Run Club, we want to wish Daytona Beach a 150th year happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach. Happy 150th birthday, Daytona.
Action.
Happy 150th birthday, City of Daytona.
From your friends at Advent Health Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach. From the Dirt Team.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Daytona Beach.
All right, my name is Leroy Gaddis. I'm out here at Daisy Stockton Park on this fine Saturday at the health fair. I just want to wish Daytona Beach a happy 150th birthday.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach. 50226.
Happy birthday, Daytona Beach.
Awesome.
I just want to thank my fellow commissioners, mayor, also for letting me be the liaison. It was one of the greatest points in my life that I'll remember for the rest of my life. I just have a couple of people I want to thank because this didn't just happen overnight. It took months of planning and a lot of city staff and partners. Thank you to our city manager's office and Mr. Morris for your support and your help. Special recognition to Katie Presswood, Julie Varley, and Samantha, I'm going to butcher her last name, Gottlieb, for their outstanding leadership, creativity, and dedication. Thank you to all of our city departments that work tirelessly behind the scenes, including community relation and events, communications and marketing, IT. Shout out to the AV behind the wall. You guys are great. Parks and Rec, Public Works, Facility Maintenance, Daytona Beach Fire Department, Daytona Beach Police Department. And thank you to our community partners, including the Halifax Historical Museum. Without them, we couldn't get the history, so we thank them for that. Peabody Auditorium, Ocean Center, Friends of the Banshell, the Root family for participating in our time capsule. Shout out to DJ Tremble and Alyssa from The Vibe for being our MCs at our Illuminate the Decades evening. Our performers, vendors, and everyone who helped make these events possible. Special thank you to our sponsors. Without them, we couldn't make this happen. And most importantly, thank you to the residents of Daytona Beach for celebrating with us. And I hope it will last for generations to come. A celebration of this magnitude only happens when people come together with a shared purpose. And I hope you guys enjoyed this sesquicentennial celebration as much as I did. Ken, thank you for coming out to all 3 events. Thank you for the others for coming as well. It was a great time, and I think we did what we set out, which was to honor our history and our city of Daytona Beach and provide a community that we could be proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner
That's
Parrish.
my only comment for
Yeah,
this
well,
evening.
thank you for a great job and just representing our city and loving our city and expressing what we as a commission feel about not only our 150th, but our everyday in Daytona Beach. You really wanted this, and you didn't lay it down. You picked it up and you took it to a high level, so we appreciate you.
I had a team that was there holding me up through the whole process. They did an awesome job.
Yeah, well, thank you again. Commissioner Strick?
All righty. Along the same lines of what we were discussing in the earlier meeting of reducing the time that it took for permits and to get a home built on the properties we had. I had asked our deputy city manager about what we could do to push along the work on 999 Atlantic Avenue. We talked about it a few minutes. He made a phone call to Mark Boyce, and this is the email that Mr. Morris forwarded me after Mark Boyce investigated a little bit. Said, after our conversation this morning, I reached out to Tom Siemens, who is the contractor for 999 North Atlantic Avenue. He stated that he submitted revised plans this morning for his permit, number C2512-62, and has been working on cleaning up the inside of the building. He also stated that the owners have now secured financing for the improvements and that he will be installing new windows, doors, and stucco on the outside of the building in the near future. Mr. Siemens has a meeting with the owners at the end of the week and said he would keep me updated on their conversations. Also, Tom's the contractor for 1000 North Atlantic, which had been an eyesore for a long time and is close to having all renovations completed on that property that's across the street and to the north a little bit. My response was, thank you. However, it seems quite a coincidence that after all this time 999 has been an eyesore, suddenly they're ready to improve it. If they're serious, great. If it's just another strategic move to avoid demolition, I'll be disappointed and will work to get it demolished. I would like for us to figure out a way in the future that when we grant developers permits and approve their projects, that we tighten up our ability to get them to go to work promptly and to with their projects. That particular building right there, I know of 5 years it's been sitting there like that. It looked like a good solid building from the outside. Looks like it has a new roof on it. It's got 3 or 4 different colors of paint, got concrete blocks in some places where there should be some windows and plywood over where the windows should be. And you know, they've had permits, they've changed ownership several times. I don't know what we can do, but I would like for our legal department or whoever, permits and licensing, somebody to help us tighten this up so that we can encourage people that come in for permits and want to develop and improve properties to develop and improve properties rather than allowing them to sit there in disrepair and be an eyesore for not months but years, lots of years. You know, we've got some up in the north part of Zone 2 there, the old La Playa. It's sitting there. It has been gutted years ago. Nothing's happening with it. I think that they've applied for some more permits and, you know, submitted some plans, is what I've been told, for, you know, improving that property. But my question is what can we do to light a fire under these people so that our residents don't have to ride by and look at basically abandoned buildings. Our tourists don't ride by and see basically abandoned buildings year after year. So if there's something we can do to move these things along, I would be in favor of that, and I would hope that my fellow commissioners would be in favor of that too. Giving them development agreements and PDs and PUDs and nothing happening for months and years is ridiculous. Mr. Attorney, help us out here, please, in the future.
Yeah, we'll work with staff to try to come up with some ways to incentivize people that are legal and defensible and effective.
What do you mean by incentivize?
Well, we're talking about, I think what Commissioner Strickland's talking about is incentivizing people to act on the permits that they're given.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I thought he was talking about abandoned buildings just sitting there for decades, because we have a lot of motels, everything. I drive by, that nothing's being, is that what you were talking
Yeah,
about?
you know, they're
Right.
boarded up. Some of them are boarded up. Some of them are
Right.
fenced off. You know, let's do something with them or knock them down. We already got plenty of grass lots that have been, you know, from back in 2004. We demolished a lot of mom and pops and some other hotels, and we still got vacant lots sitting there. What can we do to
Are those code violations?
move this along?
I'm sorry, are what code violations?
Would those be code violations?
Well, they
just
might be.
these
I
vacant,
I
right.
would need to know more information. So, but look, Chapter 73 of the Florida statutes does not allow local governments to condemn to eminent domain properties merely because of public nuisance or blight. It's specifically prohibited. We have to look at the enforcement tools that we have and see what other enforcement tools we can acquire. Even the International Property Maintenance Code doesn't allow for demolition of a building which is not itself structurally unsafe. We can condemn those properties in order that they be boarded up and not occupied. But the question is, and it's a fair question, and we'll look at it with staff, what other kind of remedies might the city have in those instances?
You're saying that we can board these buildings up and then we just leave them boarded up?
I'm saying that the International Property Maintenance Code
Okay, but
authorizes
recently
us.
we had a bar come before us and the man kept coming to us and we actually took over that building. So what are we planning on doing with that building?
I don't know what.
He's the one that brought in his lawyer a couple times too?
Tiernanog was a structurally unsafe building that we've ordered.
Well, we have a lot of those.
And so when those vacant buildings are structurally unsafe, the International Property Maintenance Code does give the city authority to demolish the building. I think the building officials here can speak to that if you want more information. But I think what Commissioner Strickland's talking about is extra enforcement in those situations where buildings may be eyesores but not structurally unsafe. What would be the remedies?
I mean, from a code perspective, we're speaking about big buildings, which I appreciate, along A1A. We have the same thing along Ridgewood, the Ridgewood corridor, right? But then from a homeowner perspective, we have code enforcement, and our goal is compliance. But if we cannot get people to comply, we go to liens. And then those mount up. It would be the same thing here, I'm guessing. And then what happens? There's a max. What else can we do when these situations arise? When we've maxed out liens and we've maxed out asking, we've maxed out sending letters, what happens next?
Well, there may be situations where based on the value of the lien versus the value of the property, we can foreclose on the liens. If a property is a public nuisance under Chapter 893 of the Florida statutes, the state has authorized us to, through the Public Nuisance Abatement Board, abate those nuisances. Those involve things like repeated drug activity, repeated crime over, so many instances over a period of time. But I think what Commissioner Strickland is asking is what else might there be, and we'd be happy to research that and take a look at that.
Did you have anything? Go ahead, the discussion.
Like what?
Mark Boyce, Chief Building Official. Back to 999 North Atlantic, they did submit revised plans, and when I talked to the contractor, I told him that there's people out there who want to tear this down, and he said they're going to start moving forward, and they have quite a bit of money probably invested in the plans that they submitted. The contractor, he used to be a building inspector for the city of Ormond. I kind of know him from different avenues, and he seems a pretty straight up guy, And he's done a very nice job with 1000 North Atlantic, and hopefully they get that moving.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I did want to ask Ben, because I think Commissioner Cantu just brought up in reference to the
Tiernanog.
The status, where are we on that particular status? Even though we've got approval, we are not able to just demolish that property at this present time as well.
Yeah, they've appealed that decision in court, and they've been asking for injunctions. I don't know what I'd have to look through my emails and see what the latest status is on that. I think they lost their most recent hearing, and we expect that we'll be able to proceed with demolition soon.
Can we get an update on that property? Thank you. But I think Mr. Strickland is saying he sees these motels and buildings just sitting there for decades and no one's there doing anything.
Sorry for interrupting, but the Americana, they put new windows in that bad boy over 10 years ago, and it's just sitting there. They pay a security guy to park there every night and every day in front of that building, and nothing's happening with it. It's a sad state of affairs that a person that owns that type of property, especially in what we used to be, those were really nice hotels, the La Playa, that one. Now we got the Plaza sitting there with nothing happening with it, and I'm sure we could drive up and down that street there and find a few more. If we're ever going to improve our image and get headed back to being the tourist mecca that we once were, we got to figure out a way to do something with these places that have been sitting there since right after the hurricanes of 2004. I mean, here we are, what? That's a lot of years, you know. Over 20 years that they've been, some of them have been sitting there. We got some vacant lots that have been sitting there. Brian Gillespie came in here after the hurricanes of 2004, bought up a whole bunch of stuff and knocked it down, filed bankruptcy in 2008, and here we are, still looking at empty lots. Something's got to give if we're ever going to get back to where we were, or just to bring us up to today in hospitality and tourism.
And you can't tell me there's not code violations on these buildings and properties. If we can go up and down Main Street during Biketoberfest and Bike Week and cite all the buildings on Main Street code violations so they can enter Bike Week or Biketoberfest, believe me, there's code violations on these buildings and properties. We can do the same thing.
Okay, enough about that one. Thanks, Monica, for heading up the celebration. We had some really good crowds over at the band shell and throughout the city. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Commissioner May.
So of late, I've been appreciating residents calling me up and saying, you know, would you mind meeting me? And I want to just take you for a drive. And they hop in my car and off we go through the neighborhoods. And I kind of enjoy that because I see it if I'm running through the neighborhood. I see it if I'm driving. But they live there every day. So they experience it on foot, in their cars, with their families, etc., from different entrances and exits. So I get a really good perspective on everything. And while I'm having these conversations, in various parts of Zone 3, the same situation keeps arising. And the situation is that with the utility costs. So for whatever reason, the utility bills in some areas seem exorbitant. I've had residents send me, I have residents send me their receipts. They've also made inquiries of the city where the city gave them an hour-by-hour breakdown of their water usage. I didn't know that was possible for a particular day. And I think in one of those was something like 160 gallons per hour for that particular time, which made no sense. So the gentleman, and that was in addition to the other usage throughout the day. And the gentleman went ahead and got a plumber and investigated his home and did all that, and there was nothing wrong with the home. It's just a really high bill. and he was living the life that he normally lives. And I've run into this a few times. Another resident went out and bought new appliances because he said, it must be that my appliances are old and therefore I'm using too much water, only to discover that's not the case. Not only that, but he had a background in plumbing and he understood utilities. He'd worked in the field, but he said, I'm going to give this a shot. So my question is, I'd like to know if I can get support. Well, are any of you experiencing this in any of your zones? Are you hearing any comments or stories about high utility bills, anything like this? Water bills, yes, water bills.
Of course.
It's definitely. But I don't think it's because, it went up $20 or $40. I don't think that's it. And I don't think it's residents trying to be, not accepting the fact that we may have a new software system or that we've changed meters. I think in one case, I learned about the fact that we do estimates from a year back. So, what I'd like to know is if the commission would be interested in supporting an audit of the utilities. Because I'm curious to see if we're doing great, we're doing great, but I think it would put my residents at ease to know that the utility bills are actually being, that there's not a mistake somewhere in our process. And it's more about correcting a process or validating a process. And I've heard it too often.
I'm just curious, is he finished with the marina yet?
I don't know, but I'd like for this one to go on the list if possible. Yeah, I don't think he is, and that's a tough one.
What was the question you asked?
Is he done with the marina?
If he's done with the audit on the marina.
I don't.
So so do I have some support for that? Are you interested in finding out more?
I
And
would be
again,
supportive of that.
it's always about improving the process and also creating a validation. If it's working, it's working, but I think the residents would feel more at ease, and if there's a mistake, we catch it now. Yes? All right, thank you so much, and we'll inform the auditor.
I will be in favor of the auditor doing an audit to anything, as long as he brings his findings before this dais right here before he goes to the TV stations.
Okay. Also, I have a business owner. I'm sure you get these same emails, and I'm now curious, right? So the curiosity that I have is that we went ahead and we painted the curbs on Ocean Ave. We did part of Ocean Ave. It's sort of like when your mom says clean the kitchen, and she wants you to complete the job. And completing the job means wiping the counters and sweeping the floor. It doesn't just mean washing the dishes and leaving it on the counter. So my question is, you're nodding, Miss Askew. The question is, on Ocean Ave, I ask for this on a regular basis. Can we get all of the curbs painted? We've painted some of the curbs. Can we just go a little bit further? Can we get to the corner of Ocean Ave and Main Street? Is that possible?
We approved that on today's agenda.
Did we?
We did.
All of it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God. It was
Where
making
you're
me
talking
crazy.
about on Ocean Avenue?
The corner, right on the corner, just the corner. Okay,
I have
thank
a map
you.
of it. I'll have.
Thank God.
If the city manager can share that map with everybody.
Go ahead,
Can I ask, is the city auditor here?
He's not here right now. No, he's not here right now.
Because I know, I believe it was Commissioner Reed and then Mr. Henry, that we all agree whatever he's going to audit, we as a group.
Exactly.
So we did agree on the marina first, and
Yes.
then he can go to utilities, correct?
If that is what we decide, absolutely.
Okay.
Good. Thank you so much.
I just want to make sure he's
Absolutely. And thank you so much.
He's doing what we are telling him to do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification. And so thank you for that, Commissioner Paris. It was finishing me sending in pictures all the time. Thank you so much, everybody.
Oh, it's my turn. First of all, I just want to recognize that National Purple Heart Day is Friday, April the 7th. We do have a new Purple Heart flag raised out there. So I just want to take a minute to thank all our Purple Heart recipients out there in Daytona Beach. We had the Enlisted Association of the National Guard of United States conference here for the last 4 days. It was really nice. I think we had around 3,000 attendees. And I'd like to call out our police chief and intern fire chief as well. Did they take off? Hi. And so this actually just ended really Tuesday. So I was going to put a video together on all the pictures. So hopefully the next commission meeting I can, because it was they had a really great time. All states were here, every state representing. But I really want to say thank you to both of you. The fire department did the fitness challenge with the National Guard, and our police department did the conflict kinetics, and actually both of you participated, correct? I saw the video of you actually getting down on there. We'll have some video, huh?
I was more of a cheerleader.
Okay, but we'll have some video, and I know we had the all-state dinner Monday night too, got an award. It was a really great time, and all of them had a great time, and they wanted me to tell you both thank you on behalf of the National Guard, so. And we'll get some pictures up the next commission meeting because I really didn't have enough time. So thank you both. Well, and they also have this thing called All Area Hospitality Night, and they still attended, and it was raining off and on at the boardwalk. I saw Commissioner Strickland there for a little while. But last year when Mr. Feature and I went to Reno for their 2025 conference, so they could vote to come back in 2030, which they are, and I'm very happy they are, because it brings some revenue to our town. This was the pin last year for 2025, and we couldn't wait. I know Mr. Feature couldn't wait for the pin for this year because it's a second part. And if you see, it's a race car, and then you connect it. And what is that? If you can see that far, it's the boardwalk. So it was pretty cool. And I did give you guys the 2025 pins, so I do have the 2026 for all of you. I think Commissioner Strickland and Mr. Feature already has theirs. So I will pass that out to all of you. And I think that's pretty much all I have. So good night, Daytona. Oh, wait, I do have one more thing. I'm sorry. On here, I'm seeing a 12 during commission comments. I had said the last commission meeting that, Rose, you did an excellent job with Biketoberfest, and I really do mean it, because that was the first year I never, and I always complained, I didn't have anyone email me, call me. We didn't have anybody come up here. But I'm seeing this on the agenda to talk about changing some things. Why do you change something that is not broken? I mean, everything went well. So I would prefer to just leave it, let Rose handle what she was doing, because she did an excellent job at it. So that's my only comment. Thank you.
I'm happy to see August come around, and am excited about, well, I'm excited, but I'm happy that the audit findings will hopefully be in our presence by the end of the month. And I really think it's important that we get that information so that we can move our city forward. You know, we are still experiencing a lack of confidence, I think, from many residents, but more importantly, many people who like to opine on our city despite the fact that they don't, necessarily live here or have a lot of vested interest. You can just watch, but it doesn't matter. A lot of the questions and issues related to the audit, I think, were obviously legitimate and of reasonable concern. So I'm excited that August is here and that we will know exactly what the auditor thinks of our operations in this community. And whatever it is that he thinks, we will have an opportunity to respond to those things and to improve. And that is what this is really all about. And we will also have an opportunity, I think, to answer a lot of questions that have been raised, and we will be able to say definitively, this was a problem, this was not a problem, this illustrates corruption, this doesn't illustrate corruption. Whatever it is that he has to say, we will be able to say it. If someone has done something that warrants, discipline or, heaven forbid, prosecution, whatever it is that's necessary, so that we can move on from this part of the cloud that has been over our city. Because the truth is that it has impacted the confidence of people who invest in the community, and it has impacted the confidence of the people who live here. You cannot have a conversation with folks without them alluding to things that have been reported in the last 6 months. And much of it, and I've said this before, alludes to things that were reported by Demi. I guess that's her name. I can't remember her last name. But a lot of it, and I know that a lot of the things that she reported, they weren't 100% accurate. And they were just on the edge of the truth and lacked veracity. So I'm looking forward to her presence and her report as it relates to whatever it is that has been, is going to be reported and whatever it is that we find. And that is my excitement for August, because I do think it's an important part of us moving on to higher heights. Mr. Manager, did you have anything?
There's something happening with the police department. So, two items. Commissioner Paula Reed. It's okay. If you have to go and handle a call, we understand. Each year at the Florida League of Cities, there is a delegate for the commission, and Commissioner Reed has served as that delegate, and then there's a delegate for the manager, which is me. And so I need you all to vote to allow for Commissioner Reed to represent the city of Daytona Beach at the Florida League of Cities Conference and vote on any matters that the Volusia League of Cities, as you said, Nancy Miller is the chair, supports for our community that deals with certain things. And so we ask that you allow for her to be the representative as the delegate to vote for elections of officers. And so we would need a motion to allow for her to continue to serve in that capacity, since she is the commissioner that travels to the Florida League of Cities Conference.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be noted by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Oh,
It's ministerial, Mayor. You didn't need to take public comment on it.
just making sure.
Yeah. Also, as Commissioner Cantu has stated, the reason this has been brought up, there were discussions by elected officials and citizens in reference to the Bike Week and Biketoberfest Master Plan Guidelines discussion that we held. I think it was at the Peabody that the meeting was held. There were some recommended changes. Rose provided the documents. We pulled this about a year ago. And since she is preparing for the Bike Week. Yes, Bike Week, not Biketoberfest. We wanted to make sure that if we're going to abide by what we currently did, and I appreciate those comments from Commissioner Cantu about the work that Rose did of trying to make sure we didn't have any issues. We did not want to go down the road after hearing from some commissioners if there was a necessity to change or implement these changes or stick with our current changes. And so we provided this information, and Rose is available if you want to talk tonight or ask questions, or if you want these to go on the agenda and for her to make a presentation at the next commission meeting, if that is the desire of this elected body. If not, Rose will continue to operate as she's operated for Bike Week that's coming up in 2027. And so that's what we are. If there is a desire to have any more workshops or make a vote or not, that's what we just need to know so she can start for the Bike Week program, as she likes to prepare well in advance and have access and communications with the property owners.
Broken, we don't need to fix it.
The only thing I would like to see changed is we've had, and I hope it's in here, I haven't had a chance to read this, but the Bike Week, designated Bike Week area comes down to East ISB, and the border goes right down the middle of the street. And it's not fair for one side of the street to be able to participate and do certain things while the other side of the street is forbidden.
Good evening. Rose Askew, Interim Director for Economic Development. In your proposed guidelines that you all gave me, Jeff and I, that we worked on, International Speedway Boulevard is being removed completely. It was determined that we didn't want Bike Week activities on International Speedway Boulevard.
Who's we?
It was in comments that we had from previous meetings. I provided all of that information in your agenda item when it was in here for the second meeting in July in 2025. And so the proposed map removes International Speedway from being part of Bike Week and Biketoberfest within the boundaries.
So where's the boundary now?
The boundaries are from the beach
current
side.
boundaries.
The current boundaries right now are the beach side from A1A all the way across Main Street, all the way down Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard to Nova Road. Then you've got Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune Boulevard, and then you have a very small section where J.D. Byrider used to be on ISB that Bethune-Cookman has bought. That was the only area on ISB, because on the other side of ISB from that area is all residential. So you couldn't have
Okay, you're talking about the mainland.
Correct.
Okay, I'm talking about beachside.
Okay, where are you talking about on the beach side? Because we
On
don't
the
have anything other than
beachside,
Main Street.
East ISB, up until you're saying it was changed, the north side was not the south side was not included. The border of the beach of the Bike Week was down the middle of East ISB. So the businesses on the south side don't have the same privileges as the businesses on the north side.
The current map for Bike Week and Biketoberfest don't have anything there.
So you've changed it completely. There's nothing there. That's on the beach side, right?
No, sir, we haven't changed it. That is what the map has been. You have some business owners on that side, on the other side, that request to be able to have activities. But as far as the boundaries go, that's not part of the boundaries.
I see two maps here.
Yeah.
So I see where he's talking about. The two maps show two different things.
The one is proposed.
Are you looking at the current or the proposed map?
This is one map that I see. It says Bike Week and Biketoberfest boundary map. And this one shows what Commissioner Strickland is talking about.
So here's the current map. I can read to you. I can try to read to you. It's very small. It says, so right now on the current map, it tells you West ISB from MLK to Keith Street, MLK Shady Place to George Ingram Boulevard. If you're looking at the beach side,
Can we do the beach side?
On the beach side, Main Street to Fairview Avenue, and then Atlantic to Ocean Avenue to Beach. That's the current boundary. That's what I'm reading from the current map for Bike Week and Biketoberfest.
2023, these are current.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the current map that I'm reading.
23.
When we started working on these guidelines, that's when we started, but we haven't amended or changed anything since then. So until you all adopt some new guidelines and new boundaries, these boundaries will stay into effect. Staff can't change it, only the commission can change it, and if you all want to, but the proposal was not to be able to, not to do that. But I was speaking to you on International Speedway on the mainland side, but the current map has nothing on ISB for the current map. What I'm reading to you now is the current map on the beach side for what we allow for Bike Week and Biketoberfest.
So just these little bit right here.
If you look at, here's the approved map. You're looking at a proposed map. I'm looking at the actual map that we all provided to you all, that Mr. Fietcher emailed you all. There's current guidelines. The last page of the current guidelines shows you what the current map is, boundaries for Bike Week and Biketoberfest. It looks like this. That's what it looks like.
And Rose, when you say, because I think Commissioner Strickland is under the impression that the people who may be on International Speedway, they are part of the master plan, that is not accurate. They received a permit to have activities on
That is
their
correct.
properties.
Yeah, they're not within the boundaries of the master plan
Which
guidelines.
other people can request.
This is the current map. In fact, 400 East ISB requests to be part of it all the time. However, we don't have the option to change the map. Only the commission can alter the boundaries for Bike Week and Biketoberfest, who's allowed to have it and who can't.
And the commissioners, if a person outside of the boundaries come and request and the commissioners approve,
correct,
we will work with them on allowing for them to do activities on their
That is
property.
correct, and only you all can do that. We will take an application from them. However, it comes to you all, and my presentation will show this person has applied. However, they are outside of the master plan boundaries, so it requires special approval from the city commission to say yes or no as to whether or not they can participate.
Okay, Rose. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So with that being said, you all want us to operate under the current master plan, and if a person outside of it, or do you want changes?
I didn't say I didn't want changes myself, because I think that we should at least consider them. What was the use of all this work? And we had a meeting, and it doesn't mean you have to change anything, but
because the work was done on, the staff did this work, and the business owners did not want this. And now they are satisfied. We are leaving it alone. That's why we keep reinventing the wheel. And when we do that, that's where we get all the commotion. That's why you didn't see anybody come, because Rose handled it, and we didn't reinvent anything.
But these guidelines are changes to a lot of different things.
But if
just let me, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
The process that we do, we looked at, you all had us to look at increasing fees to try to help cover some of the cost. You all had us to put a process in place. We have now made Bike Week applications available electronically. And so none of that is in the current guidelines. I worked with the IT department, and we created an entire online process that is now not part of what shows in these boundaries. So it's not just one thing that we're looking at. You're looking at a complete overhaul of what you all had us to do to improve how we currently process and work with Bike Week and Biketoberfest. You all gave us a task, and so these new guidelines have new fees. You all wanted us to look at things like if a person doesn't have a license versus they do, they should pay a different amount. All of those types of things have been addressed in these draft guidelines that have been sitting now for over a year. I'm getting ready to start meeting with, having my workshops for Bike Week and Biketoberfest, and I need to know whether or not we are going to adopt these and have them follow these new regulations for Bike Week and Biketoberfest, or are they going to stay another event with the current guidelines we have in place?
Okay, and on those fees that you guys put on there, the businesses didn't ask for that. Bike Week is there to help our economy, not for the city to make money. And furthermore, with those fees, businesses complain because on the west side, they're getting charged very less than the east side. So we can go on, but we're going to have all this commotion again if we set and go by this, because you saw the stir we had. They are happy how everything is. The online thing, I think, is great. You did a wonderful job, because some of these businesses have been doing it year after year after year, and they don't change anything. So all they have to do is go online, correct? Put the same thing, and they're done.
Well, they actually just select reapply.
Oh, okay.
We have it set up where they don't have to input it all over again. They click on reapply, upload their documents if they didn't change anything, and pay the fee and submit it.
That's wonderful.
So it's all of the paper that you were getting. That's why when you get your information now, it's clearer, because they're having to upload it, and I work with them to make sure their layouts are laid out right. I work with traffic. When they have comments, I work with police, fire, to make sure it's going to be meeting the criteria for them to upload into the system, so it also doesn't take as long going back and forth with the applicants. However, the draft guidelines don't just address that type of stuff. You all had us to look at ways. We had to go out and do comparisons of other cities. You all had tasked staff with that to see what charges they were charging people for Bike Week and Biketoberfest, because we've had the same fees for over 40 years.
Correct.
We have not changed them. And I understand the businesses may not want to change the fees, but that wasn't the task the commission gave us. They gave us the task, you all gave us the task of making our fees more consistent with what other biker events are charging right now.
And then
that is what this draft has in it.
No, because then we looked at those, and if you look at the county, we were losing a lot of businesses to the county out by the Cabbage Patch, because they charge one fee for the whole entire year, and it was a lot cheaper than us. Then we were losing our vendors and stuff over to Ormond Beach too, and now it's starting to come back because we're leaving it alone. And this was the first year since I've been elected in 2020 that we didn't have, none of the businesses complained. They were happy what was going on. I mean, the only thing I'm hearing now is, and I wasn't even aware that I voted for, the only thing I'm hearing now is on the east side that we're paying for entertainment over there during Biketoberfest. The west side is saying, hey, where's our entertainment? Are you guys gonna pay for our entertainment in the bars? And if you know anything about entertainment, which I do because I come from a husband who plays in a band, and entertainment, when government is paying for entertainment, they're paying a lot more than these bar owners can. So now they're having to compete with government. So we should be staying out of the private sector business in the first place. That's my personal opinion.
In reference to that,
But you have done a wonderful job, and I think we should just keep it how it is. We have no one complaining, but when you keep reinventing the wheel, and that's when all the businesses get upset. We finally have something that is working, and you've done a great job, what I'm trying to say. Let's keep it this way, and if we see something that we don't like during Oktoberfest, then we come back as a commission and say, hey, well, maybe we do need to look at this, and then we talk to the businesses as well. Because Bike Week and Biketoberfest has never been where the city government is trying to make money. We are trying to bring economic to our city. Our businesses are trying to make money. Our restaurants are trying to make money. The bartenders, the waitresses, the bands.
if you all recall, you all had staffed me to provide you all with.
I understand, but we're telling you now.
Can you let her speak?
You all had me to provide you all with cost expenses that the city incurs. What we're doing is not to try to make a profit. What you all had me to do is look at our expenses that we currently have and come up with ways to help try to cover some of those costs. As far as it goes for the entertainment on the mainland side, at the meeting in 2024, at the July meeting, when SAMA, and I provided you all with that information, no longer did the festival on the mainland side. I brought that to the city commission, letting you all know that SAMA was no longer going to be doing it. I provided that, the minutes and everything, and that we would be assuming it, but we only assumed it on public property. We're not doing anything at Daisy Stocking Park that the city doesn't regularly do when we have activities in that park and we cover costs for entertainment and stuff to be there. We're not doing anything different. When we have the stage that we set up on Walnut and Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, we pay for that to be also done when we have other events and stuff. And so in our code of ordinances, it allows the city manager to be able to do these types of things up to a maximum of $75,000 for entertainment venues. We have a continuing service contract with our purchasing department that allows us to do the portable toilets and stuff. I worked with our public works and utilities department. They have now, instead of us having to pay people to come out and put out the grease traps and stuff for people so they don't put grease out, they've created them and made them themselves. And so they bring them out, we bring them out, and we take them back. So we took away that cost. So we're trying to do whatever we can to try to improve those types of things. And we're only doing what you all as a commission has asked us to do. If you no longer want to look at the guidelines, then we won't do anything with the guidelines. But we have commissioners that are sitting up here who have come and asked me, when are we going to do something with these draft guidelines? And my answer is always, it's at the purview of the commission. It was pulled off the agenda in July, and it won't go back on until the commission decides it wants it back on. So staff is just trying to find out what direction you want.
Okay, I want to say one other thing. You're saying we don't do anything different. I just asked for that and you sent it over. It was just posted on the City of Daytona Beach yesterday. Biketoberfest, entertainment vendors, and production. That is something totally different. How much are we paying for that? Because I looked at that. How much was that?
Commissioner Cantu, it's not
I'm
different.
asking Mr. Fiatcher right now. And
It's not
please,
different.
please,
She's not doing anything wrong.
okay, I'm just asking Mr. Fiatcher right
Okay,
now,
well, I'm just
because
want you-
we're sitting here telling you one thing, you're like fighting with the commissioners telling us another thing. I mean,
She's not fighting with anyone.
it seems like because we're saying I
No,
want
you're
to keep
saying
it, and I think they're not come. I
I'm just
don't think
waiting
they
for
have
you
a
to
problem
finish.
either.
There's
So, Mr.
just
Fiatcher,
two
how much
people.
are we paying?
I don't know the actual price because we have not done the bid yet. The only difference
But
that
how much did we approve? Hold on, because you sent it to me yesterday for this, because I was actually surprised I voted for this. So hold on, I'll pull it up. Oktoberfest. It was in the resolution. So we are spending money and then we're trying to save money at the same time. That doesn't even make any sense. Trying to keep some of our investments, but we're going to go ahead and spend money. And actually, we approved $43,000 for this. Okay, so is this why we're trying to raise the funds on the businesses so we can pay for entertainment during Biketoberfest, the city? That's why the city needs to stay out of private sector.
Okay, okay.
So,
go ahead.
You're correct, Commissioner. You made the motion, and it was a 7-0 meeting to actually get entertainment at this event. The only difference that is taking place, really, and I don't consider it a difference, in a manner to be more transparent, we decided to put this information out for all vendors and not just go with our continuing contract. So it's nothing being done different. They've been doing this for a while, but from a transparency standpoint, purchasing decided you should open it up for anybody else to come through. Some of the discussions that took place during the meeting was, how do we activate Main Street year round? One of the determining factors that were discussed at that portion was, if we were to raise the rates on individuals who only open up during Bike Week or Biketoberfest, we may get them to open up more often by charging them a higher rate compared to the businesses that are currently open. Now, that was not something that came from staff. That came from the elected officials asking us to look at how do we activate the space on Main Street year round. And so that's where Rose and our former Economic Development Director, Jeff Brown, brought that back. if staff wanted to just push this forward, we would have been bringing this back over a year ago. The only reason it's coming back now because there were discussions from other elected officials, and we can't poll or vote from individual commissioners. We brought it back to you all, not as an agenda item tonight, but to say, would you like for us to put it on there? And so if you all did not want to have entertainment in those areas, all you have to do is vote and say no, and staff will not put any entertainment in those areas for from a SAMA perspective. And so that's what we are of doing that. There's a right from a continuing contract, how much we can spend up to, but we did not, I don't believe, and I don't have the factual numbers in front of me that say that we spent $75,000 for the last event.
We did not.
All right, thank you.
And then also the east side over there, if you look at our master plan in the first place, all businesses should have BTRs. I can tell you on the east side, half of these people don't have BTRs. So why can't we have the west side and east side be totally equal, everything? Because it can be. We need to charge our businesses that are there all year long, but we're gonna let the west side do whatever they want. It's not right. And then you're gonna charge the west side, businesses that are there, the east side that are there all year long, more money, and then you got to charge the east side less.
Commissioner, with all due respect,
do you want me to bring all these businesses in the next commission meeting?
We don't. What we are not trying to do, because I'm tired of the division, is to paint this as an east side versus a west side.
Well, it is a difference.
Well, it's been done in a different way. But what we as a community are sick of, and this is the reason that this was brought up, is that we want the businesses on Main Street to operate year round. Now that's one thing that we asked for, and that's one thing that this community wants. And so that's what we're asking for. We don't have a problem with the businesses on Mary McLeod Bethune operating year round.
Because
those that are there operate year round. So we're not here to create a division or to try to say that we are going to overcharge the east side so that they can pay for the west side. That's not what we're doing. And this was something that was brought up before the commission, and I do not believe that we should tonight make a decision that says that, oh, let's just keep it just as it is. Staff has done all of this work, and we need to do our due diligence to look at everything that they have looked at and go through it and nitpick and choose the things that we want to keep and choose the things that we want to get rid of and make the decisions as opposed to simply saying, keep it just as it is. I have never personally been in favor of just status quo. Okay. I have wanted to see Main Street come to life year round, and I believe that the proof is somewhere in what she has worked on, some of it, or at least what we need to work on to get to that point.
And Mayor, with all due respect, I would like all the copies of everybody that's in that master plan on the west side, all their BTRs.
Give her whatever it is that she would like to have.
I want everybody that's participating, I want to see their BTRs.
Okay, whatever is to come forward from this, whatever level of division that is to come forward from it, let's be prepared for it as a community. Because we've been divided for the last 6 months.
Does she have a problem back there?
No.
Ms. Ruby?
I'm talking. So we've been divided, and if it's going to continue, then let it continue. But we'll be ready as a staff to do whatever we have to do to create, fairness in this community.
Well, what?
Give her whatever it is that she wants.
Mayor, that's all I want to say. I don't want us to, as a commission, to attack staff
we're not going to do that.
They are doing something outside of what's being requested. That's all I want. I just want the elected officials to know that when we do the work, it is not us just coming up with our own thing on this particular item. That's all I want. We're going to respect the direction of the elected officials, but I don't want Rose and people that she works with to think that they are being subjected to something when they're only doing what you all ask us. And that's all I want from the perspective. And if the commissioners as a majority say don't do something, we won't do it. But that's all I want. It's nothing about who's right or who's wrong, and we will get the information to Commissioner Cantu and make sure it's to provide to all. But I want Rose just to be able to do what she's requested to do. And when commissioners contact my office or an agenda preps to ask for information. We can't individually just say we're going to do something. That's why it was brought to you all tonight, because we want to know which direction to go on this particular item.
And I think Rosa did a great job the last time. I've said it a million times. I actually personally called you and told you that. But I can tell you that with those new guidelines, they are not fair between the east and the west side.
Okay, well, let's fix it.
And I can tell you right now, you don't even have to give me a copy. I'll give you a copy, because I can tell you the west side, half of them don't have BTRs, but it says in the master plan they have to. But I've kept my mouth shut about it. So if you want to be really fair, I'm going to bring it all to you.
I did want to say this. Every agenda item I give you all for Bike Week and Biketoberfest, it lists on there that section 1 of the guidelines say you are required to have a BTR in order to participate. I provide the list of every single person who does not, what they're going to be doing, everything, and it requires special approval. The commission gives them special approval to participate without a BTR. Staff does not. We process, we bring it forward. I make sure you all are aware these people are not meeting the master plan guidelines, whether it's not a BTR or anything they're not meeting it for. There's always a statement that says it requires special approval by the city commission, and you all vote to approve it.
Okay. Great. Commissioner Perry?
Correct.
Can I make a suggestion? If they don't have the requirements that are on the guidelines, they shouldn't even be presented to us. That's
Correct.
for me.
You guys ask us to bring it
Well,
all.
for me, because
It needs to be a majority.
okay.
I understand.
I would like that. I don't know if anyone else is in favor of that. Commissioner Cantu, can I just
agree.
finish my thoughts on this? Because the thing is, I was one of the commissioners to bring this back because our police department spends over $1 million just for these Bike Week events. Temporary vendors, I love them. I think they enhance the whole Bike Week. But the thing is, I don't want them to replace year-round business. I think that's what we all want, is for a year-round business on Main Street. How can we work with the vendors and people that are open year-round? I would even say waiving their fees because I know that they're there year-round. I'm not even saying that I want to charge them more money. So for me, it was more of what are our options policy-wise that we can incentivize people to be there year-round. Because the thing is, they're making more money with their empty lots. They're making money on parking. And not that I don't want to see people making money. What, you're shaking your head no. They're not making money?
No. Some
No.
of these people do not even make money. Take Stevens Tires. He just participates. He doesn't make money because do you know how many permits he has to pay for and how many times he's charged? Rose, can you let him know how many times they're charged?
I'm sorry. You mean his vendors? Because he doesn't pay for permits. The vendors have to pay for their permits.
Right, but he has to pay for it as well.
So he's
go
not
down-
charging.
Yeah,
No,
go down
So
there.
he's not charging the vendors to
He
use his
doesn't have to
space?
pay him. He
Go
does not
down
have
there.
to, she's saying that he doesn't
The
have
way
to
the
pay
master
for it.
plan works is the business owners only pay the $300 application fee plus 12 cents per square feet for the total amount of square footage they have. After that, which normally comes to about $400 and something dollars. After that, the vendors that they have on their property are the ones who pay. The vendors work with the business and property owners who got approved for the master plan. The business and property owners charge them a certain amount of money to be on their property. So they get money from each of the vendors, and then they come to the city and pay for their city permit to
And how
be
much
able
is that
to
permit?
participate. It varies based on what you're doing. Well, it's a flat rate, I'm sorry. On the mainland side, it is $300. On the beach side, it is $600. However, there is a resolution in place where the commission at that time decided those were the fees. That was not a city decision by staff. There's a resolution in place based on the economic differences between the two sides and the income levels and those types of things. So there's a resolution that clarifies why the costs are different on both sides of the ocean.
So you need to go down and talk, Ms. Paris, to some of these businesses and actually look at their documents. I'm sure Mr. Strickland and May has, because these businesses do not make a lot of money off their vendors at all.
Okay. Go ahead, Commissioner.
I'm for bringing this back for discussing what we could implement if people want year-round businesses on Main Street and how we could do it.
I want year-round
And
businesses.
then the west side, with the BTRs, yeah, I told you, they don't have it. But I've talked to Mr. Fiecher about it, and I usually just leave it alone because what they did, it worked this time. Businesses were happy. Both sides were happy because the west side is a little bit different than the east side. And those people don't have businesses. Some of them do pop-up businesses. They make money. They use people's lawns, and it works somehow.
Am I bringing back just the entire packet that you all got from last year's meeting that has all of the meeting information and the comments and the minutes and stuff? Do you all want the entire packet from the last meeting?
Back for
Yes, sir.
discussion and vote.
Okay, thank you.
And all the businesses without BTRs and how much they actually pay all vendors too.
We don't have that information. The businesses
How much
don't-
they actually pay the city, how much the restaurants or the bar owners pay the city, how much those vendors pay every year, because it's the same vendors every year.
Right, and that's part of the regular fees they pay on the mainland side.
Right, I would like to have a list of that.
Okay.
And it should be pretty easy because it's the same vendors every year. Or I can go to the vendors and ask for the receipts.
And I want to make sure I understand. I don't think I'm understanding what you're asking for, because the city has a flat rate. If you're on the mainland side, it's $300. If you're on the beach side, it's $600.
But the vendors who actually pay come and pay the city as well.
That is the fee for the city. That's what they pay permits and licensing
The
to get
vendors,
their permit.
and then
Yes,
how
ma'am.
much does the owners actually pay?
The owners don't pay for permits, ma'am. They only pay the application fee, which is the $300 application
Okay.
fee and 12 cents per
So
square foot.
you should know how many vendors are in at each business because they pretty much have the same vendors. So I'd like to know how much the city is actually making off every vendor that pays the city.
And I provide that information. There's a spreadsheet that I provide after every single
Okay,
event.
could I get
that has the
could I
total
get that
amount of
again,
all of
please?
that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We mean the people who are itinerant vendors.
Itinerant vendors. On the
Itinerant
property that are
meaning
selling.
that they are not here year-round, and we as a city are not obligated to have them do this business.
That is
This is a courtesy that we afford folks. So this is not a right, right? A
correct.
courtesy that we choose to afford.
Yes, sir.
And they're on their property and not the city's
Yeah, but it is,
property.
but not, nevertheless, it's not something that they would normally be able to do 365 days. It's only during this time of year. Because I want to make sure, because we've talked ad nauseum tonight about businesses. But there are residential impacts to having this event. There always have been, there always will be. And not only are there residential impacts, but she just said that this city pays essentially $1 million a year for police, to police this event. So I believe that all of that has to be a part of the conversation.
Yes, sir.
All
And I
of it.
provide that information after
Okay.
every event. I provide a spreadsheet with, I have a wrap-up meeting with all of the departments, and they provide me with their expenses for the event, and I put it in the form of a spreadsheet, and I provide it to you all.
Okay, great. All right, so thank you, Rose, great job.
You're welcome.
All right, that was you?
Yes, that
Is that
concludes my
concludes
report, yeah.
Okay, did you have anything, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, we will now hear from the residents of Daytona Beach.
Just one more thing,
Oh, I'm
Mayor.
sorry.
They are going to come back to us with the short-term rental.
Mhm.
Dennis, I think Dennis was supposed to come out and tell us that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, our first speaker tonight is Evelyn Rodriguez, and on deck is John Nicholson. Oh, hold that thought, Evelyn.
Jim Morris, I'm not Dennis. You're correct, Commissioner Harris.
Okay.
You are correct about the short term.
Evelyn Rodriguez, Molly Road, Fairway Estates, flood zone basin. So we've heard from the Corps of Engineers that and they're supposed to be the experts on flooding, and they've told us that there's no solution for the flooding issue in the city unless you pay billions of dollars, and we don't have that. The city's utilities director has said that and we had some workshops I've been to, she said that her department is still studying the flood issues and maybe possibly doing small projects in certain areas to alleviate maybe flooding wherever possible. To alleviate some flooding in Fairway Estates, I proposed the city purchase property in the Fairway Estates and turned it into a retention pond. This is a diagram that I provided for everybody. There's 4 parcels in Fairway Estates that are vacant, contiguous, adjacent, back to back, side by side, and borders 3 streets, Iron Horse, Swanee, and Peachtree Drive. The property appraiser's website has the value of each at about approximately $50,000. And we all know that the property appraisers is low. So let's just, for argument's sake, say that there was $60,000. So that's a total of $240,000. The city usually pays for closing costs. So let's say the total cost of purchasing these properties would be $300,000. So I believe this is reasonable because Transform 386 is offering me $350,000 for what's considered one of these lots with a house on it, okay? A house that I recently remodeled, renovated due to flooding, okay? They're willing to give me $350,000. They'll knock it down. They'll turn it over to the city, and they use it as green space in, preparation or to help flooding, okay? My lot, I have houses on both sides and the back, and all are fenced in. $350,000 for one small lot. These are 4 lots, okay? I think they can be used for a large retention pond. Let's see. So the 4 vacant lots that I'm proposing for purchase are not fenced in. So it's perfect for a retention pond. By the way, my property won't be affected by this. I won't benefit by this because my lot is on the southwest. Oh, sorry. Okay, well, I appreciate your consideration, and I left you all the information on there about these lots.
Okay, our next. Sure.
Ms. Rodriguez, are these community lots for
These
the
lots-
HOA, or are they private?
These are private.
Okay.
I've given you the information.
Okay.
There are 3 owners. By the way, one of the owners, he used to live on my street. After the flood, he left.
Okay.
He moved out because of the flood, but he owns one of those vacant lots.
All right, thank you.
Our next speaker is John Nicholson, and on deck is Michelle Utter. She might have left.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. You should have seen this in your mailboxes. These are posted on Main Street and on the boardwalk. Locals? Do you remember seeing them in your mailboxes? At any rate, this is not the kind of thing that we need on the boardwalk. This is not the kind of thing that we should project. And it is one person that is doing this. I'm told that he's on medication. But regardless of whether he is or is not, when these things pop up and when people advertise for whatever, they should be taken down immediately. The decals that people put on our light poles and up and down Main Street and up and down the boardwalk should be taken down immediately. These are not the kind of things that enhance our tourist industry. Secondly, with regard to the line going down ISB for vendors. The line goes down ISB because on one side is the Main Street CRA, on the other side is the South Atlantic CRA. That's why the line goes down the middle. Third, with regard to 999 North Atlantic, my neighbor owned that property, and he had a problem, and we've had it several times over the years. We get in, a code enforcement wants it built, repaired up to code, and they're going to remodel. They can't understand why they have to bring it up to code only to tear it down when they remodel. So there are reasons why that 99 sat for years, because he fought back and forth. So that, I think, is something that we need to address. The rowing club, you gave them another lease. That roof was in disrepair for the last 5 years. They don't maintain the property. I'm asking you, if they're going to lease, that they maintain the property around it, especially the oleander in the front that covers the sidewalk so the people can't walk down the sidewalk. All of that should be well maintained. Let me see. What else? I put my eyes on. There's a group that's been talking about the difference in the spending on the beach side versus downtown versus midtown. They're feeling, and I believe it to be true, that we are not, as a city, spending money on the beach side for maintenance or for repairs. So the spending issue is an issue. Thank you.
Is Michelle Utter here? I think she might have left. And Teresa Werner? Our next speaker is Barbara Ivy. Oh, Sonia Saylor. And on deck is William Biddorf.
Here again. I drove through Ormond Beach. I noticed how clean it is, how safe it is, how beautiful the landscaping is, lit up trees, and how well the city is managed. And I drive to Daytona Beach, and the contrast is unacceptable, and I think the residents and the business owners have reached our tipping point. That is exactly why Daytona Beach shores want to drop your name, because they don't want nothing to do with Daytona. I don't blame them. This should be a wake-up call, just like when the kid got his throat slit. And it's still not a wake-up call. If you look at the pictures, more evidence. People sleeping on streets, doing drugs. I'm going to cover this with my finger. A man exposing in his pecker, which thank God it's small and it's underneath my finger. And this is what people see. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Encampments, garbage everywhere, nothing cleaned up. We walked through the businesses and we did the non-trespassing sign program from Daytona. Everybody took the paperwork. Everybody wants it enforced. IHOP, a young lady just got hired there from Pittsburgh. She was 5 times somebody came in and bothered her. She had to call the police 5 times. There was somebody else that came in and said, hey, do you want to do a party tonight? We have an encampment right near Beachside and we have all the crack you want. We had Jimmy John's, somebody come in and pull down their pants and just, it was hoo fung poo all over the floor. And this is why people don't want to put back the hotels and don't want to invest in your community. And we're at the point that we can't trust you guys to fix it. We're ready for other options. Are we going to be like Daytona Beach shores and take Beachside in a different direction so that we have better leadership? We can't even count on you guys. We have a city manager who has let this happen, and you still rehire the same people to do nothing. If you look through that booklet, it's horrific. We have nonprofits giving food out constantly and leaving garbage all over our streets. And these people are not homeless. They're drug addicts. They're running around on bikes all night long, selling drugs to the youth, destroying our beachside. It's disgusting. And we're back again asking for your help. Tonight, we want to recognize somebody in our community. Apparently, we have to outsource in our neighborhood for safety for a citizen to actually go around and take pictures with other residents and take video of drug addicts on our streets.
I'm sorry, ma'am, your time has expired.
Okay, well, I just would like to give this to David Palmer and thanking him for all his help.
Okay, you can do that from the audience. Thank you. I'm sorry, sir, this is not an opportunity for you to speak. Our next speaker is William Bitteroff, and on deck is Margaret Little. Sir, please have a seat. Thank you.
Go sit down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about all that. This is well, I'm ready. William Bittorf at 402 East International Speedway Boulevard in Daytona Beach. I particularly like Daytona. I'm never going to be ashamed of the city of Daytona, period. I grew up here. I actually grew up with a lot of you. I like to do, let's proact, not react. See how I can help. See what positive stuff I can do to help, at least on East ISB. Maybe I'd like to not do events as much as do fundraisers for the police or fundraisers for the city to help raise money for positive stuff rather than have, because I don't see anything negative that my leadership is doing, Mr. Mayor. I truly have, and Ken and Monica and all of you, Mr. Fiacher. I'm very proud of all of you, and I think this is a time we should pitch in and not point fingers. I agree that there is a problem out there, but I think that we're working towards those things. I think those things take time as a resident trying to put in the best I could to fix those things. Wow, that kind of caught me off guard. Sorry.
Me too.
So essentially, I would like to see how I could reach out to you, Mr. Henry, and see how you could guide what you'd want to see there on East ISB, and I'd like to try to go in that direction. Okay, I don't have a whole lot of land, but I do have nearly 5 acres, and I would like to do something. I have a church that's interested in going into Grandview. I have a few different people, but I don't want to put in the wrong people that will hurt our area. And I think we have to start with what we can control and the private property that we own first. And I'd like to do that and try to partner with the city, one piece at a time, and let's just try to do something together. Because I wasn't always the good citizen. Years ago, I had a strip club. I wasn't the best Christian either. You know what I mean? And I bettered my life. I became a better Christian because of you and Steve Miller and Ken Strickland and everybody else that's kind of put up with me. And poor Derek, city manager, had to put up with me multiple times nagging. But, let's do this together. And it starts with your leadership has made me a better person. So when you get a chance, please reach out to me and let's try to do something together. Okay. I appreciate you. All right. And I believe in all of you. I'm not going to say anything negative about our great city, because if Daytona Beach Shores doesn't want to put our name on it, fine. Yeah. Get our name off of it. All right. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Margaret Little. Okay. Our next speaker is Lauren Angelotti, and on deck is Emily Nice.
I'm back again. Regarding 999, Commissioner Ken Strickland, we were at the meeting and the owner of that building was at that meeting, and we came in here and we asked if the pool was damaged to take care of it on that particular day, but you were told out loud that we didn't need to do anything at 999 because we worked on it as residents a lot. Seabreeze neighborhoods, we work hard to keep it safe. So a lot of this is us. I had Christian friends bring their children to Daytona Beach this last week. I'm appalled. So just recently, I'm down on Beach Street and I'm walking myself. I don't see any of these men anywhere, but we have a young Christian group in town and they are out. They're out everywhere. I myself, with Sonia, took a moment to walk through the neighborhoods. I've been working on the no trespass program that's been in Daytona Beach with our police department for 10 years. And I helped Cash Express get it, Bel Air Plaza, and the Aldi's that sits there on Nova and Mason. This is unacceptable. The men are passed out here. The kids don't know what to do with this behavior in our city. Why can't we scoop it up? I've talked to the police and they said it's an easy fix for us. It's just that who owns this, who owns this, and who owns the building? So we have to have a no trespassing. Did you know this? On the sidewalk for the city. We got to have another one on this right here. And then we got to have one on the building. So should their neck be leaning on the building, well, that's the buildings department to call 911. If they're on this and we call 911, that's somebody else's property, okay? And then when they're on the sidewalk, they're actually the city's property. Why can't we get an ordinance that makes it easy for our city to run? I mean, why do we have to have, this is mine, this is yours, and this is theirs? The city, the people that work in the city on Beach Street, I walked down Beach Street. I didn't think I would have one complaint. I really didn't. But every one of them took the non-trespassing. I heard stories from people on Beach Street that have the most amazing businesses. And they told me that people come in, smell like urine, sit on their couches, take their shoes off, and they can't get the police to get them out. And I'm not going to have enough time to tell you all the stories. But if I was you, as leaders here, Commissioner Kim Strickland in Zone 2, and a lot of this is your department, my friend that left, you know what her problem is. She's got a crummy hotel that is destroyed on Wisteria and A1A, and the homeless are living in it. And our code compliance department signed it off on February 2026. It said they're up to compliance. You need to take a look at the pool. It's broken and empty. How can that be up to compliance? I don't know. You've got a book here we put together. It was a lot of money. I know I have no more time to talk, but you can get enough information in here about what we're doing because we're not done yet. We're not going to accept it.
Okay, our next speaker is Emily Nice, and I see Miss Werner came back in. Did you still want to speak, Miss Werner? Yes. Okay.
Hello, Emily Nice, 941 North Oleander, Daytona Beach. Here to talk about a couple of things. Number one, I just want to bring up the November 5th, 2025 federal hearing for Dennis Scott versus the City of Daytona, the panhandling ordinance. The computer link is readily available. I'll give you a copy if you want. But I wanted to bring up an important fact because this hearing was available online, still is, and it was only 42 minutes long, but at 36:20, the judge asked Michael Kahn, Daytona's outside counsel, why other City of Daytona Beach ordinances, such as loitering, public urination, defecation, disorderly conduct. Mr. Kahn described the vagrants going into the streets, causing traffic problems, and that this is a safety issue. So the judge clearly states at 3818, there's existing ordinances that cover this stuff. So why is Daytona Beach so different than Ormond, than South Daytona, than Port Orange, than the Shores? What is it that's going on with our legal system that we can't have the same benefits of safety and cleanliness like those other cities have? Who is going to sit down and compare what's going on here with what's going on in those successful cities? When a federal judge has to ask Daytona's attorney why we can't enforce the existing ordinances, maybe it's time to spend some time on this. I hope we can, because our city police officers should have the benefit of clear, solid enforcement action. They work very hard. They put their lives on the line every minute. So let's give them some tools. I hope we can talk more about that. And I only have 30 seconds left, so I also want to say, sometimes people say, oh, well, like Commissioner Strickland said on September 17th in the Daytona Beach CRA meeting, our homeless shelter that we just built not long ago, it's at capacity. Their safe zone out there is at capacity. And I'm pretty sure there are some rules, state and federal, that say we just can't go out and arrest them and drag them off without an alternative. Well, here are the emails from the shelter. It is not at capacity.
Your time's expired. Our next speaker is Ted Herdecki, and on deck is Teresa Werner.
Ted Herdecki, 113 Braddock Avenue. Well, there's a lot of things to talk about. I was going to talk about something and then something else come up. But long story short, I think it don't hurt to look at Main Street. I'm a believer that if you're not in business all year round, you pay more. That's just my opinion. We got majority rule here. We bump our heads together, we vote on it, we come up with it. As far as, I don't know what you'd call it, the pits of degradation in Daytona Beach or whatever. If you annex in Ormond Beach, you're still going to be in Daytona Beach. It's my opinion. If you go to Ormond Beach, Port Orange, Ponds Inlet, they all got problems. This is a national product. This is not something that's just Ormond Beach, Daytona Beach. I don't believe that. I also believe that the police department does what they do by law. They don't make the rules, they follow the rules. But I don't know, it just gets all confusing to me. The church is feeding and clothing the people in need. They're not all drug addicts. They're not all alcoholics. The only reason I know that is because I got 34 years clean and sober. I know what a drug addict is. I know what people in need are. I know the difference. I look at them and tell the difference. If you don't like these people in the neighborhood, you should move to a neighborhood maybe that got a gate around it and you need a guard to get in it. Like the old days in Seabreeze. You didn't go over the bridge a certain time of day. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is the human race. If you think we're going to clean out all these problems, you're wrong. The only way we're going to do this is as a community. We get people, let me tell you, the people that go in the homeless shelter and recover from alcohol and drug, the majority of them don't make it. That's a fact. I mean, it's like crazy how many people don't make it and how many few do. But I believe we have problems, we clean them up. But I don't know, I hear a lot of divisiveness, And I try to show respect to people, but sometimes I just look at people and I feel disappointed. And I'm not here to judge anybody because I don't believe in that. But this is not a Daytona problem. It's throughout the whole country. And if I'm sorry the guy's got a small penis, I mean, we all got our crosses to bear, but we got to get together as a community. That's all.
Is Teresa here? There she is. Okay, and on deck is David Palmer.
Listen, I quick ran home, but I'm going to tell you something. I just came down Beach Street, and when you come down Beach Street, across the Main Street Bridge, you can't even see the yellow line on the road. You might see it in the day, but at night, you don't see nothing. And that's Beach Street. And I know you can't see the lines on the road. out of Mason because I went out there and I said to my husband, where the hell am I supposed to be? You couldn't even see the lines on the road. So you can take care of that. All right, I contacted Commissioner Paris over a month ago about the trash. It's underneath and the sides of the Main Street Bridge. 3 of the sides, this side, this side, this side. That side they go fishing. There's about that much room under the bridge. They're living under there. If you want to live under there, you live under there. But they got all their trash, all their garbage. I seen a man fishing right in front of Johnny's, whatever it's called, Johnny's bar there. He's standing there fishing in a pile of trash. Who wants to come to Daytona Beach so I could stand and fish in garbage? I called you twice. So I just looked right now is what I did. Still wasn't cleaned up. Some of it went out with the tide. It needs to be cleaned up. And I'm going to tell you something. Whoever goes there, they need a hazmat suit on, pick it all up, and then leave there and go get washed and burn everything because I wouldn't want that man's job. I talked to a fisherman there. He said there's guys in and out from underneath that bridge all night long. Also, they also moved to, you come down Sea Breeze, and then there's the archway to get on the beach. There's a cubby hole in there. They're in there. I don't care if you want to be homeless, but don't trash up my city. There's no reason for it. That's another whole story. So that's that. How do you get it? She reported it twice. Did you report it twice?
3 times.
3 times. How comes they pick and choose what gets done in the city and what don't get done in the city? Because it seems like don't do nothing on beachside. Another thing is, you went and did the A1A. Well, you know that's a giant cock-up. Well, what happened was, you got 4 lanes of traffic, and they're all over on Halifax. And they can go from Halifax, from Plaza, all the way down to Lady of Lords without a red light. They're tearing up and down there like a racetrack. I'm on the side street. I can't even get out. If I'm on there, I'm doing 35. They're up behind me. I must say this. There's police out there now, and you put up 2 flashing lights. Now, I used to live in the neighborhood. See if I can even find it. We had kids riding bike. We had kids on skateboard, scooter, whatever. Only the people up and down my road were the neighbors. We got people up and down our road all day and night long because now they're all coming off of A1A, getting on to Halifax. I don't know. Crazy. Now you want to make these decisions about one-way roads. What are you going to do? You're going to go do another report, pay taxpayers money for another report? Why don't you listen to the business owners and the residents?
Thank you, ma'am. Your time has expired. Our final speaker tonight is David Palmer.
David Palmer, Daytona Beach resident, 26 years. I didn't plan on speaking, but I thought I would maybe at least get a minute to show you all this when I was called up here by Sonia. It's a Good Citizen Award. In recognition of hard work and dedication, David Edward Palmer has shown to the community, residents, visitors of Daytona Beach, Florida. On this 5th day of August, 2026, we, the citizens of Daytona Beach, would like to honor you, me. Thank you for your dedication and efforts to help make Daytona Beach a safer place to live, be, and visit. I don't even know what's in here. I'm not going to open it to show you. I'll look at that when I get home. I'm compiling a list of the violent, thieving, child sexual predating, drug-addicted, mentally deranged people that are living on our streets. Again, 20 arrests, 50, 80, 150 arrests or more, and they are still on our city streets. I don't consider them your city streets. They're our city streets, and we're tired of it. Very tired of it. I'm up to 400 names. Most of them are on the streets right now. A few of them are at the county jail. Hopefully they get sentenced properly this time when they go in front of the prosecutors and the judges, because they don't need to be letting these people on the streets. 50 arrests, 150. Some of them are over 200 arrests, but they're sleeping around the corner from the restaurant I work. Urinating, dropping their feces behind the walkway of our restaurants downtown. I'm tired of cleaning it. Can you come clean it next time, Mayor, City Manager? When there's a pile there, can I call you to come clean it? We'd appreciate you down there to clean it, possibly. I didn't plan on speaking. That's about it. Thank you for the award, Sonia, Emily, Lauren, Simone. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That was our final speaker, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, this concludes our meeting, but I do want to remind our community, because we've said a lot tonight, but it is not a crime to be homeless. That does not mean that when a homeless person engages in a crime that we don't want to hold them accountable. But I have heard language tonight that simply incriminates people just because they're homeless. That is not a crime. Okay. Good night, Daytona Beach.
But